Good morning, everyone. Welcome to English class. Today, I'll be dealing with Grade 10 English Poem 2 Fire and Ice. This poem is written by Robert Frost. Before getting into the poem, let's see a brief information about Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet who depicted the realistic and rural life of New England people through his poem. He won 4 Pulitzer Prizes. His famous poems include The Road Not Taken, Mending Wall, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, etc. So, moving on to this poem, Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice is a strong symbolic poem where fire is used as emotion of desire and ice that of hatred. Okay, so in this poem, the poet Robert Frost says that this world will come to an end and it can be either by fire or by ice. Okay, so we'll move on to the poem and I'll be explaining stanza wise to you. First stanza. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So the poet is in the opinion that in this world will come to end. It can be coming to an end either by fire or by ice. So some people are in the view that this world will come to an end by fire, and some people are in the opinion that it will come to an end by ice. And the poet is saying that because of the human desire, I think this world will come to an end by fire. So he is indirectly saying that fire means human desire that will surely bring destruction in this world. Okay, so the poet is saying that this world will come to an end probably by fire. Fire means here it is human desire. Okay, it is a symbolic representation of human desire. Moving on to the second stanza. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that of destruction eyes is also great and would suffice. And the poet is also saying that if this world will end twice, perish means end. I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction eyes is also great. So the poet is saying that if this world will end to ice, then ice is also enough for the destruction. And here he is saying that ice is standing for hatred, right? So the first one he said that fire stands for desire, and now ice stands for hatred. So this ice is also enough for destroying this world. Okay, not only fire, ice is also powerful to destroy the world. Suffice means sufficient. Okay, ice is also great and powerful to destroy this world. So the poet is very sure that this world will come to an end. Okay, actually there are two possible explanations of the end of the world. Okay, the first one is that fire alone can destroy each and every possibility of life on earth. And the poet also thinks that ice also has the power of destruction. Ice can cover the earth as a result of extreme low temperature. So, in this poem, the poet said that the world destruction is sure. So, what he said, the both two components he said, one is fire and the other one is ice. Both the components are compared with self-destructing human emotions, desire and hatred. Okay, both are compared with self-destructing human emotion. One is desire, and another one is hatred. So how the destruction by fire is rapid, very speed, and the destruction by ice is silent. Okay, it is a silent damage. It will be a silent damage, right? So that's the poem. I hope you could understand it, but I will also discuss now the poetic device used in the poem. The first one is rhyming scheme. Rhyming scheme, that is the same sound is coming at the end of each line. Okay. First line we'll see. Some say the world will end in fire. So fire we have to give the rhyming scheme A. Okay. Now some say in ice. Since it is ice, it is different from fire. We have to go with B. From what I have tasted of desire. Desire is rhyming with fire. So we have to write A. I hold with those who favor fire. Fire is again rhyming with fire, desire. So again A. So A, B, A, A. Now next, but if it had to perish twice. Twice is rhyming with ice. So we have to go with B. I think I know enough of hate. Hate is different. So C. To say that for destruction ice. Again ice is coming. So we have to go with B. Is also great. Great is rhyming with hate. So it is C. And would suffice. Suffice is also rhyming with ice. So it is B. So the whole rhyme scheme is A, B, A, A, B, C, B, C, B. Okay. Moving with the next one. Next poetic device used here is assonance. Assonance means repetition of vowel sound in the same line. See, it can occur at any place at the in between the words. Okay. But it will be a vowel sound. The long sound of O in I hold with those who favor me. See in that line, hold. O sound is there, and it can also be seen in those. O sound is there. So it is assonance. Next one is alliteration. Alliteration means the consonant sound is repeated in the beginning of two or more closely placed words. Okay. In the first stanza, we can see world will. Were sound in world will. Favor fire. Fir sound in favor fire. Okay. So moving on with the next poetic device, imagery. Imagery means it is used to make reader perceive the image. While we read the line, the image is formed in our mind. Okay. So next one is anaphora. Anaphora is a repetition of word or expression at the start of two or more consecutive lines. That is, in the first two lines you can see the word some say is repeated. Okay. In consecutive lines means first and second. See, in the both lines some say is repeated. So poetic device is anaphora. Moving on to the last poetic device, and it is important one, personification. Personification means giving human attributes to inanimate objects. Here, fire and ice are given human emotions like desire and hate. So, the poetic device used is personification. Right? Once more, giving human qualities to inanimate objects. Okay. I hope it's clear for you right now. Okay. So, thank you.